Hi children, welcome back to another session of our new chapter. So today we will be dealing with our new chapter, that is tissues. Second chapter, that is tissues. Okay. So in last chapter we had discussed about what is a cell, and we came to know that cell is the fundamental unit of our life, right? It's a fundamental unit of life. And also we came to see that all living organisms are made up of cells, and cell, on the basis of this presence of cell categorizes the organisms to unicellular organisms and multicellular organism. All these things we have studied in the last chapter, right? So unicellular organism, example, amoeba, isn't it? Amoeba, it's a unicellular organism. It can perform all its function by this single cell. And for example, for the multicellular organism, let us take we human beings itself. Human beings, plants, all animals and all are multicellular organism, and we came to see various types of cells are there. For example, muscle. What is the function of muscle? We can contract and relax. When we are taking account of nervous system, nervous tissue or nervous system are meant for the conduction of signals, right? And when we are taking account the blood is the transporting medium, right? So in a multicellular organism we can see what division of labor, isn't it? Division of labor is seen in multicellular organisms, right? So why we are taking account this division of labor, we can see that a group of cell is doing one type of function, isn't it? Take into account that respiration is done by, the pathways, isn't it? Nose, nostrils till the lungs. How it is being going. We have studied in our 7th standard and all, right? So respiration is quite different from that of digestion, isn't it? So a group of cells are doing respiratory function, group of cells are doing digestive function, group of cells are doing transporting function. So different groups of cells are confined to do different functions. Clear? So we can say that a particular function is done by same type of cells or a group of cells or a cluster of cells. A cluster of cells perform a particular function, correct? And that group of cluster of cells are known as tissues, which do same function. So how we can define tissues? Tissues are a cluster of cells or a group of cells which perform one similar functions. So in the last interactive session, we discussed that what all things this chapter holds. So we will be starting with this tissues and we will be looking which all tissues are present in plants, which all tissues are present in animals. Okay, so I invite all you to this respective chapter. Okay, before going into the deeper session of this chapter, let me ask you one thing. Are plants and animals made of the same type of cells, or the same type of tissues? Are plants and animals are made up of the same type of tissues? Just think. Meanwhile, I'll rub the board. Okay. So when we are categorizing plants and animals, we can see noticeable difference, isn't it? What are the noticeable difference which exhibits plants and animals? Yes, plants cannot move. They are stationary. They can't move. But in the case of animals, they move, right? And when taking account to the plants, majority of the tissues present in the plants are dead, and also they are meant for the mechanical support. They mechanically support the plants. Dead tissues will support than that of the live tissues. Okay, when taking account the mechanical strength. So the dead tissues will be more when compared to animals in plants. In the case of animals, they will be having more live tissues. All the tissues will be live. Okay, no mechanical support is being offered in the case of animals. Mechanical support should be there in the case of plants. Okay, so they are the noticeable differences. Another category which accounts the difference in the plants and animals are the pattern of growth. Pattern of growth. Consider the plants and animals. When we are taking account to the plants, plants growth is confined to certain regions. Some region of the plant is growing, but in the case of animals, are our some region is only growing? No, our whole body is growing. Altogether, our body is growing. So that's a difference. In the case of pattern of growth, altogether our body is growing. Clear? Next session is the growth of plant. I told the pattern of growth. Another thing we are seeing that the division of the cells are confined to some areas or to specific areas in the case of plants. That led them to the growth of that area only. But that is not in the case of animals, right? And also some of the tissues will divide and grow throughout the life of that particular plant. But in the case of animals, after reaching maturity, there will be no further division of the tissues. All those you will study in higher classes. Okay. So, some you know that at reaching at a certain age, our growth will stop. Beyond that, we can't grow. We can't increase our size or height. Isn't it? Only up to an age we can grow. But in the case of plants, the age is not confined. Certain parts will grow till the death of that particular plant. Okay, so from this you came to understand that some tissues are present in plants which continue to divide. Okay, so based on this dividing capacity, plant tissue is divided into two. First one points the meristematic tissue and the second one is permanent tissue. Clear? Meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. So based upon the dividing capacity, the tissues of plants are headed in two headings, that is meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Okay, so today we will be going to see the meristematic tissue. So we are going to take the plant tissue, and in the plant tissue we are going to see the meristematic tissue. So meristematic tissue are the tissues which are having high capacity to divide. Only some tissues will divide in plants. That tissues are known as the meristematic tissue. Permanent tissue is another category. Okay, so first of all, let us consider the meristematic tissue. And I told that some region of plants will divide continuously throughout its life. So it is due to the presence of this meristematic tissue in that specific region. So a specific region is being coated in this meristematic tissue, right? So based upon that, depending upon where the meristematic tissue are classified into three. First one is apical meristem, second one is lateral meristem, and the third one is intercalary meristem. Okay, apical meristem, lateral meristem, and intercalary meristem. What are the three meristematic tissues? Apical meristem, lateral meristem, and intercalary meristem. So I told they are grouped based upon the region where they are present. So apical meristem are seen at the growing tips of stem and root. Clear? Apical meristem are seen at the growing tips of stem and root. So this meristematic tissue help the elongation of the stem and root of a particular plant. Clear? Lateral meristem are seen the girth. What do you mean by girth? What meaning of girth? Girth means the size of the trunk. Okay, what do you mean by girth? Means the distance around in the trunk. The girth of a plant is increased due to the activity of lateral meristem. Due to the lateral meristem, the girth of the plant increases. Now, where we can find the intercalary meristem? Intercalary meristems are seen at the base or internodes of the leaves. Base or internodes of leaves. Clear? So these are the three different categories of meristematic tissue. Apical meristem, which are seen at the growing tips of stem and root. Lateral meristem, they are responsible for the increase of the girth. Girth of the plant, girth of the stem and root increases due to the activity of the lateral meristem. And the third one is the intercalary meristem. They are seen at the base or the internodes of the leaves. Clear? So I hope this is clear to you. You have to draw the figure which is exhibited in your textbook, that is figure 6.2. When you are writing the notes, draw the figure 6.2 of the location of this meristematic tissue. So you have to study this. This will be asked for your exams too. Okay? Neatly you have to draw. Okay, this is the region of apical meristem. This is the lateral meristem, and also this is the final one, that is the intercalary meristem. Okay, so today I told the definition of tissue. You have to write the definition of tissue in your note along with the difference of plants and animals. That you don't have to write. You just read it from your text and just enter into the plant tissue. And in the plant tissue, two major classification are the meristematic tissue and the meristematic tissue and the permanent tissue. And today we discuss the meristematic tissue and the three types of meristematic tissue along with the figure. Along with the class itself, you have to write the notes. Okay. So meanwhile, you have to go through an 6.1. Growth of roots. An activity is being given in your textbook. Go through this. This is your assignment. Okay, go through this and check it out, the question answers, what it is being given here. Try to answer it. Okay, so for today I'm winding up the class. I hope today's class is clear to you, and in the next class you can continue with it. Okay, stay safe. Study well. Don't step out from your home. You know we are moving through a very high risky condition. So be safe in your home itself and pray for a better tomorrow to have a good good sunny days and good days ahead. Okay, so for time being, I'm winding up. Bye.